Today, I'm going to be discussing the top 7 ingredients that are essential in an anti-aging skincare routine. Throughout the years, I always managed to get caught up in products that were a part of a multi-level marketing company. And though they might have been great products, they were very expensive and they always wanted more involvement than just buying the product. So they were always trying to entice me to become a distributor and to push these products onto my friends, that sort of thing. They also touted that they had this magical ingredient that they found in the deep ancient jungles of God knows where that only they had a patent on. So I always seemed to feel like I was wasting my money on products that I really didn't understand. And I just felt duped. So over the last couple of years, I decided I really wanted to take control over my skincare routine and do the research, find out what is the best kind of ingredients to have in your skincare routine without all the added fluff. I wanted to find ingredients that had scientific research backing them, as well as finding products that are easily accessible without all the added entanglements. I've always been relatively good about taking care of my skin, but I do have the classic signs of aging. You know, I've got the lines and the spots and everything like that. But I never really actually knew what ingredients I should be looking for in my skincare routine. And the beauty industry really isn't helpful at all either, because they basically are just trying to sell you products, and they'll have you believing that all of these different things are absolutely essential. And if you're not incorporating them, then you're somehow missing out. Even though the jury is still out on some of these products and how efficacious they really are. So as I started looking into this more and more, I was actually very pleasantly surprised to see that some of these ingredients that I'm going to be discussing today are simple ingredients, and you can find them in inexpensive products. I will outline all of the different ingredients here today and touch on what they do for our skin. But I've dedicated individual videos for all of the different ingredients so that I can kind of go more into depth with each one of those. So please check those out as well. So before I get started, if you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That will really help me out a lot. Thank you. Hydration becomes a lot more critical as we age, and moisture loss in that top layer is what then leads to the wrinkles and lines and textural changes. So to start, I suggest doing a few different swap outs. So if you're still using cleansers that are very foaming and lathering, those can be a little bit more drying and stripping of the moisture barrier. So if you swap those out for more of a cream or oil-based cleanser, you're getting the benefit of cleansing your skin without it actually stripping out any of the moisture. Another thing to look for is a good moisturizer that includes ingredients like niacinamide, ceramides, and hyaluronic acid. And these ingredients are very abundant, so you will find these in a lot of different products. So niacinamide is an antioxidant, and it does a plethora of things. But where moisture is concerned, it really does help, the moisture retention and reduce transepidermal water loss. Ceramides are what create the barrier that locks in moisture. And then hyaluronic acid is a humectant that actually draws moisture to the skin. it becomes more and more important as we age that we really do protect that moisture barrier. I think it is so easy to get excited about a product or a treatment where we end up overdoing it. The perfect example is like facial scrubs, where I know I'm definitely guilty of this, is where I just was way too aggressive with it, and then I end up with irritated, angry skin. So now is a good time to maybe swap out the facial scrubs and replace them with chemical exfoliators. So the exfoliators I'm going to be discussing are the AHAs and BHAs. AHAs are the alpha hydroxy acids, and those include acids like glycolic acid or lactic acid. So when starting out, you're really going to want to incorporate these slowly into your routine. Rather than buffing the top layer of your skin like with a scrub, these actually penetrate into your top layer a little bit deeper, and they are more efficient with the exfoliation process. And then they gently slough off your dead skin cells. Now, the BHAs are the beta hydroxy acids, and those are like a salicylic acid. And what this does is this goes a lot deeper into the pores. They help with removing excess oil and even the production of oil. These are great for, clogged pores. This can also be used as a spot treatment for blemishes. And these acids you can also have in the form of a chemical peel. And these you can get done at your dermatologist's office or even at home. Another ingredient is antioxidants. And I know we've heard a lot about these. So you can get antioxidants through your diet, supplements, and topically. So the antioxidants that I am going to be discussing are niacinamide, vitamin C, and retinoids. You can find one or more of these ingredients in, some of your products, or you can add them individually. I really love niacinamide, and it is very well tolerated. The other two, there are a few things you kind of have to look out for. Studies are showing that vitamin C is very promising for what it can do for the skin, but there are some stipulations. It's very unstable in a water solution. When exposed to air, it starts to oxidize. The pH has to be just right. And there's some other factors that play a role in just how well it's absorbed into the skin. So another ingredient that does need to be taken with a bit of caution are the retinoids, more specifically Retin A. These have been scientifically proven to be the #1 anti-aging ingredient for skincare. And they come in several different forms. Retinol, retinaldehyde, and then tretinoin, which is also known as Retin A. Some of these forms are over the counter and they're more easily tolerated than the prescription strength, but they're not as effective. So the prescription strength tretinoin, aka Retin A, is it comes in a variety of strengths. So you really do want to go very slowly with this one because it can be very irritating. The final and most important element in my skincare routine is sunscreen. If I was religious about using sunscreen from the start, I wouldn't have to be worrying half as much about all these other ingredients that I just have been talking about. Those are now helping me reverse the signs of aging. And they're helping with the appearance of my skin. Sunscreen is actually what protects you from the damage in the first place. So the damage that we're seeing now was actually done years and years ago. So by adding sunscreen into our routine, we're actually protecting our skin for the future. So UV exposure is responsible for 80 to 90% of the damage that we see on our skin. So you need to be aware that some of these ingredients that I've mentioned will actually make your skin more susceptible to sun damage. So if you're wanting to add a chemical exfoliator or a retinoid, you have to use sunscreen. Otherwise, you're just throwing your money away and you're actually going to end up damaging your skin even more. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Please check out the other videos in this series. And if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments. Also, if you know somebody who might get some value from these videos, please share, as well as give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope you have a great day.